If you listen closely, you can actually hear the sounds of millions of moon boys right now crying out, squealing, and calling for the end of Bitcoin's run and the beginning of the end. But I'm here to say in times like this is where you either have to go big or go home. And let's just say it's possible many of us lose our homes because we went too big. Price of Bitcoin really it's low. It's when was the last time it was here? On the 30th, so like 3 or 4 days ago. And we've just kind of been still just ranging. So far, we're still kind of putting in higher lows. If we go below 103, 104,000, specifically if we go below 100K, that would be the biggest lower low. That would absolutely signal that it's dumpy time. But let's not get too scared just yet. Self-reminder, according to Flood, staring at charts all day is not being productive. It's only productive if you're making a lot of money and the candles are green. But if the candles are red and you're losing money and it's making you depressed, then don't look at the charts. That's a pro tip actually I learned. I actually don't get depressed by looking at charts. I just don't care that much anymore. Obviously, I feel really, well, do I feel really good when things go up? Yeah, it feels good. I wouldn't say really good. At this point, I think it just feels good. When it goes down, I don't know. And some of you guys might be watching. Actually, I've gotten this comment a lot, and I do want to address it. Some of you guys are like, if you're already doing okay, it doesn't really matter if the market's boring. You don't know what it's like to have like $5,000 and lose all of it or something. It's like, guys, I was not born wealthy whatsoever. And I didn't really start making money in the space for the first 2.5, 3 years that I was doing it. And before that, before I even found crypto, I was lucky to have maybe $1,000 in my bank account for actually pretty much all my life. I mean, okay, to be fair, I was never like actually super, super poor, but I absolutely never had like a ton of money until I discovered crypto. So one, that's simply not true. I know exactly what it's like to be down and to have investments that don't do anything for long amounts of time. I've been on both sides of it. And of course, it's better to have more money than less. Obviously, that makes life better. Obviously, I would never say that that's not true. But sometimes you just got to suck it up and deal with it. And that's exactly what I did for a long time. But according to James Wynn, we're entering a bear market. Isn't this the guy that lost like $100 million or something? That's way more than I've ever had. I've never had $100 million. Now he's calling for 90K as his first target. Okay, this could be big. Everyone is quitting crypto right now. Everyone thought we'd be printing in Q4. We're about a month into Q4 and we're not printing. We've gone sideways for an entire year. Everyone's exhausted. Sentiment shifts quickly and the bull can reemerge in an instant. Bitcoin is fueling up. Time to double down, or as I like to say, go big or go even bigger, because going home is not an option, specifically for many of us, because we have the potential of losing our homes, because we potentially might lose everything. $7.3 billion in stablecoins just flowed into Binance, which is the highest that we've seen in about a year, right before Bitcoin ripped about $40,000 to the upside. A lot of dry powder waiting to fire. Fresh liquidity is back on the sidelines. Next move could get wild. And November has historically been the most bullish month for Bitcoin since inception, actually. Out of all 12 months, November being the most bullish, that's pretty big. It's now or never. Average return, January was about 9%, 12, 8, 30% April. What is November? 36. It's time to go big or time to go even bigger. And we got to really, if we don't see a trend change, I think we will personally, but if we don't see like a nice 20% daily candle on Bitcoin before this year ends, then yeah, I would be very comfortable saying, okay, this is weird. We're not going to be pumping nearly as much. But again, we still have plenty of time. Tom Lee saying October was the biggest liquidation in history of crypto, and he still thinks we'll hit 150 to 200,000 by the end of the year, myself as well. Also, this might make you feel better if you're down in the dumps, or if you're not feeling good about the current price. I mean, I'll share my current sentiment right now. It's just so boring. It's so boring. That's why I've been like posting one video a week. One, there's not much to talk about. If I do it once a week, there's enough that I can talk about it. But like people that are still posting crypto videos every single day right now, man, oh my God, they're saying nothing. There's nothing to say every day. This guy just lost $71 million or about 1,200 Bitcoin because he sent it to a phishing site. So if you think you're down bad. I mean, imagine losing $71 million off of a silly little mistake. That would suck. This guy's saying, not gonna lie, it's actually over. Such an obvious top. Hey, that's what a lot of people are feeling. And that's why I'm even more bullish than ever before. Does that make me dumb? Maybe. But it also might make me rich. You should probably buy some Bitcoin while you still have a job. I agree with this. This is something I've actually been really urgently thinking about for the past year or so, is that, and I have like friends that have certain jobs, whatever, like the job market is slowly dissolving because AI is going to replace most human beings for most things. In the future, quite literally, I mean, it really depends on how far we're talking in the future, but I truly don't think that humans are going to need to have, I would say 90+% of the workforce is going to be jobless in the next. It's really hard to say because AI can accelerate a lot faster than people are thinking. But in the next 10 to 15 years, I think 90% of jobs are going to get eliminated. And you might be thinking, oh, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? Even like jobs that require a lot of physicality, a lot of strength, robots are going to be doing them. You're never going to be as strong as some of the robots they're going to make, right? You could be the biggest guy in the gym and you're not even going to be able to lift 1% of what these robots are going to be able to lift or something, right? So like no job is safe. Literally, I can't think, actually, maybe leave a comment below if you think there's a certain job that'll be safe from AI. Because I just really can't think of many. There has to be maybe some. Like statistically, that's why I said maybe 90% will be replaced. Maybe 5 to 10% won't be. But I really struggle to think about like what job is completely safe from AI. I don't think many are safe. So anyway, the point is, that's why I think it's really important to be investing in something like Bitcoin with a limited supply that's deflationary as opposed to the US dollar, which is less and less valuable. If you don't have a job and you don't have good investments, how do you plan on living off of your income or your capital? This is the most bullish chart I've seen. Bitcoin Therapist says we just got a golden cross. Are we going to get another pumpy as well? And here, let's take a look at this post. If you're scared, read this. In the first few days of November 2024, Bitcoin dumped to $71,000 and then 66,000. Or sorry, it dumped 71 to 66. Everyone said the market was done. Bitcoin pumped then from 66 to 108,000 in just a month and a half. We see ETH and altcoin market jumping 138% in November to December. And it tells you what he's saying. The market only needs 45 days to get explosive. Today, we're at the same spot. November just started and we're dumping, but all the data is positive. This is the most important thing because we're looking at the fundamentals. Fed's going to be cutting rates will cut rates in December. Quantitative tightening ends December 1st. Quantitative easing is here. Fed will start buying treasury bills. Crypto market bill close to buying. U.S.-China trade deal signed. Gold topped. And U.S. stocks hitting new highs. Still bullish. Crypto prices are being manipulated and suppressed. I don't buy the idea that all data is good and everything in the world is pumping with liquidity, but crypto is done. So I'm holding and waiting patiently. Definitely not easy, but we all knew the risks. To be honest, it is kind of easy. That's one thing I disagree with a lot of these bigger accounts about. It's like, it is easy. Just don't do anything. Like if you believe in crypto and you think, oh, like I think maybe next month it'll be pumping or something. Why? What do you mean it's hard? It sucks. Like it's not amazing to watch your capital either go down or sideways, but it's not hard. In fact, it's the opposite of hard. You just don't do anything. The only reason it's hard is because you're stressing about it every day and you're thinking about it every day. That makes it hard. But you have the choice. You have the option to do that. You don't have to make your thoughts revolve around something you don't want to think about. Okay? If the market is doing something unfavorable, if it's doing something you don't want it to do, nobody's telling you you have to think about the market all day. Do something else. Develop a new hobby, right? That actually is my best tip for bearish price action in crypto and stocks, investing in general. Just have other hobbies. And that's exactly why I talked about this. Staring at charts all day is not being productive. Don't do that. If staring at the charts makes your day worse, if it makes your emotions worse, if it makes your life worse and it just gives you negative thoughts and you don't like it, then stop doing it, right? It sounds so easy, and as you're listening, most people are probably being like, well, yeah, duh, I don't know why you're saying that. You have to understand, so many people, more than 50% of people, just let themselves linger in negative thoughts. They just ruminate on negativity. It's just those thoughts cycle in and over in their head. You don't need to do that. So don't. It's that easy. And actually, if you develop that mindset, it'll make your whole life better in general. And unironically, it'll also probably make you a lot more likely to be profitable and successful in your life and also rich. You might be asking yourself, how? Well, think about it for just a little bit. Why? Why would positivity and being able to enjoy your life and make rational decisions, why would that also translate somehow to making yourself more likely to be rich? If the answer isn't immediately apparent to you, then just maybe do some soul searching or think about it, right? Think about what that means. Negativity breeds negativity. Positivity breeds positivity. This is turning into like a self-help thing, but honestly, the way that I made a lot of money in crypto, I would say most of the reason be because I was positive and I learned to have a better mindset. And it makes your life in general so much better. A lot of people are here to make money, right? Because they want their lives to be better. And it's true, having more money objectively makes things easier. And it doesn't guarantee that you're happy, but having extra money makes it a lot easier to be happy. It doesn't guarantee you're going to be happy, but it makes it so much easier. And if you could also learn to train yourself to have more positive thoughts and to just like being who you are, whether or not you have money or not, but just like being in your body and in your brain, why would you also not do that? That's an even bigger upgrade to your lifestyle than being rich. So just train yourself to like your life. You don't have to be rich to enjoy your life. You just have to decide that you want to enjoy your life and find ways to enjoy it. There's beauty in everything. You can enjoy anything, right? Some circumstances are obviously worse than others, but there are silver linings to most things. The price of Bitcoin, for example, the silver lining here is that we're still above the 50-week moving average. 50-week moving average sits a little above $100,000 right now. Stock market's a little red today. The SPX is up 0.2%. NASDAQ is up over 0.5%. Dow Jones is down almost 0.5%. US dollar is actually pumping a little bit, but nothing like crazy substantial. And this is the US dollar right here, pumping a little bit. And overall, yeah. I'm just making my weekly video pretty much because it's boring and I try to make videos on Mondays when it's not doing anything. At least once a week on Mondays is what I try to do. So I'm just doing my weekly Monday video. If something exciting happens, if we get a big crash or a big pump, then I'll post something. But also I'm thinking about doing a daily live stream soon. So let me know what you think about that. And yeah, also get signed to FEMX or BITUNIX. If you want to buy Bitcoin, altcoins, or trade, take advantage of these low prices. Sign up with the links below. It takes 20 seconds. And yeah, it's time to be looking for opportunity. Big things are coming, in my opinion. Could we have a dump below 100K first? Again, I've been saying that same thing for like over a month, I think, at this point. We haven't gotten it yet. I'm kind of surprised that in some of these shakeouts we haven't. For example, actually, this shakeout here, I was kind of surprised we actually bounced at like 102. 102.5. I thought for sure that if we had one of those big crashes, which was a big crash, alts were down like 50, 60, 70% or something. But Bitcoin did not go to 100. But we still could. I'm kind of also waiting for that. I'm kind of trying to see if that happens. But like I said, December 1st, I think is going to be pretty optimistic. The Fed is officially basically ending quantitative tightening. And liquidity, I think, can flow back into the space. So that's going to be big. Without any further ado,